Researchers discover microscopic plant compound on a meteorite fragment. Natural News reports. According to news reports, researchers from the University of Hawaii discovered traces of complex plant compounds on a meteorite discovered in the Nevada desert back in 2010. I mean, obviously this is a sign of life. It's not the first time that a finding of this nature has shaken up the ideas about how firm the divide between Earth and outer space actually is. In this case, it's unclear whether the chemicals in question originated on Earth or were later launched into space, or whether they formed in space itself. The researchers further claim that the chemical found was identical to tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, one of the primary substances thought to be responsible for the high from marijuana, for example. They said if chemical substances that change brain functions and result in alterations in perception, mood, or consciousness in humans find their origin in outer space, what role then has cometary impacts played on the human species, end quote, asked researcher James Hunn. He said, or on life on the planets as whole. Did life building blocks form in space? The idea of panspermia suggests that life has been distributed throughout the universe in the form of microorganisms, hitching rides on celestial objects such as asteroids, meteors, and comets, thereby seeding, quote unquote, various planets. While ancient in origin, the idea got a major boost in the 1960s when scientists first discovered amino acids in several meteorites, including one that fell outside of Murchison, Australia in 1969. And this led to a new hypothesis known as soft panspermia, quote unquote, that perhaps the building blocks of life actually originated in outer space and then combined on Earth to give rise to life as we know it. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. In 2009, a study in meteorics and planetary science gave new support to this idea. The study reported on the analysis of samples collected by the Stardust satellite in 2004 from the tail of the comet W2. The researchers found that glycine, a tiny amino acid, was found in the dense cloud of dust and gas around the comet's tail. NASA researcher Jamie Elsila said, glycine is an amino acid used by living organisms to make proteins, and this is the first time an amino acid has been found in a comet. Our discovery, he said, discovery supports that theory that some of life's ingredients formed in space and were delivered to Earth long ago by meteorite and comet impacts. And based on the foil and aerogel results, it is highly probable that the entire comet-exposed side of the Stardust sample collection grid is coated with glycine that formed in space, NASA researcher Daniel Glavin said. The Stardust findings also suggest that life may be more widespread throughout the universe than previously assumed. The discovery of glycine in a comet supports the idea that the fundamental building blocks of life are prevalent in space and strengthens the argument that life in the universe may be common rather than rare, said Carl Pilcher, director of NASA's Astrobiology Institute. So, have we already colonized other worlds? Scientists are also exploring the converse idea that asteroid impact onto Earth could have launched life from our planet into outer space, and potentially allowing it to colonize other parts of our solar system. In 2011, computer simulation conducted by researchers from the National Autonomous University of Mexico suggested that normal asteroid impacts could launch Earth life not just to Mars, but as far as Jupiter and its moons. Of course, only incredibly hardy life forms could survive. Hardy life forms, strong that is, could survive the trip through space, but research is also into extremophiles, is increasingly showing that Earth is actually filled with microorganisms that are tough enough to pull it off. There are viable bacterial spores that have been found that are 40 million years old on Earth, and we know they are hardened to radiation, said Stein Sigurdsson, astrophysicist from Pennsylvania State University. And this is Unbended Reality. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support.